On this show, we tackle a number of the issues that you will not see in the mainstream media, and one of them is the cost of lockdown on COVID. Ezra Levant is also not in mainstream media. He's the president and principal of Rebel Media. He joins me right now because a number of documents I've read, thoughtful, knowledgeable, trained doctors are saying the lockdown is costing more lives alone than the actual COVID.
Well, remember, we were told 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Well, we're now coming up onto the second year. So if something's not working, let's maybe reconsider it.
Stop banging your head against the wall.
But we've learned a lot about the disease in the last year. We've learned, for example, that it really is deadly to people over 70, 80, 90 years old who have underlying serious conditions. Diabetes, dementia, liver disease, kidney disease, things like that. And for some reason, long-term care facilities, about 80% of all the deaths in those places. So my first instinct is, now that we know who it attacks, why don't we put all our efforts protecting them? And why are you shutting restaurants down, 20 and 30 somethings? Why are you shutting down gyms, young people exercising, staying healthy? Why are you shutting down schools? If we know it targets 90, average age of death is 82. That's pretty much life expectancy. Let's be smart about it, but I think politicians are drunk on the power. Remember the name of the law.
Or they just can't admit that they have to change their mind. All the medical authorities are now saying lockdown is not good. Not all of them, many of them are.
Well, not just that, but it's sort of like an arms race. If the Premier of Quebec brings in a curfew, well then maybe the Premier of Ontario has to, or he's not doing enough. And so we're copycatting bad policy. But what's starting to happen is that we're seeing the buildup of other diseases and social maladies because we lock down society. Whether it's suicide, undetected cancers, mental stress of all sorts, opioid overdoses. We can actually measure the excess deaths, as they're called, from those things. More people will die of cancer from missing appointments because we empty out the hospitals than will die from COVID-19. That's a fact.
Are you optimistic that our politicians are going to change their mind, or hopefully the vaccine just stops this from going?
I'm terribly pessimistic. Once these politicians use emergency powers, they'll never give it up. It's like the ring of the Lord of the Rings. Once they have that power, remember the laws under which these politicians have these commanding powers are emergency laws like the War Measures Act. They don't want to give that up.
Or like the Income Tax Act in World War I.
Yeah,
a temporary measure that is now still with us.
Yeah, permanent crisis. They love it.
So you're concerned also about future liberties, no matter when this ends.
I'm desperately concerned. I think that's the number one issue of our time, civil liberties in the era of lockdowns.
Ezra Levant, I think you're right. 3 minutes. Thank you. So thank you for watching, and please make sure that you subscribe and tell your friends. We are going to have lots of fabulous shows coming up in the new year.